Hey, Kristen, let me know when you see me, when you're on. I'm sitting here texting you a little bit too. All right, so Kelly, we need to adjust. Hey, Garrett? Garrett? Hey, Garrett? Okay, Kelly. I'm not going to pretend. I was going to try to have you off camera, but you're not off camera. And I'm not going to bend over backwards. I was going to say...
I can scoot.
No, it's not politically correct right now, but too bad. All right, did you get that, Kristen?
Hey, we're 6 feet apart.
Yeah. It's good. It's all good. It's 8:01, and we're going to get started. So welcome this morning to our live stream yoga. This class is basically for people that have the standing sequence memorized. Well, sun salutes, standing sequence, and the closing. That should all be memorized by now. And I will really cue through some of the seated poses after that. So welcome and glad you're here. We're just going to go to the mat. I'm going to take off my socks. Kelly is here joining us this morning. Yay, hi Kelly. And we're going to have a great practice today. All right, just start at the top of your mat. I'm going to straighten my mat up just a tad. All these little things with yoga that can be a distraction, things like, oh, I forgot to take off my glasses, or a hair is in your face, or like for me, that piece of lint on my mat. Eventually, really good yogis ignore all of that. So I will do my best to be an example of not worrying about those kinds of things as you come into your practice, but it is a good idea to get yourself all ready before you start so that maybe those distractions can be minimized. So if you need to blow your nose, go to the bathroom, or whatever, that should all be done so that you can focus. If you are in a regular Mysore shala, like a really serious shala, you do not drink water during your practice. Sometimes beginners will bring water into the practice room and it doesn't make sense, but I'm thirsty, I should drink. We are trying to build fire. We are building prana during this practice, and if you take a drink of water, it dampens down that fire. So for that reason, unless you have medical conditions or something, you should get used to not drinking water during your practice. Before and after is fine, but during your practice you should stay focused the whole time. So that's our goal this morning, is to stay focused on our practice. So bring your feet together and feel that energy we talk about every day. Lift all 10 toes so that you can feel that energy coming up your legs. Remember, we're looking for 50%. 50% making it happen, 50% letting it happen. So when I lift my toes, I'm almost at 100%. I lower my toes, still trying to engage, but not quite so much. I feel this morning some engagement up in my core as I do that. And I want to keep that engagement, but not overdo it. And then lifting in an internal way up through the front of the spine, up to the top of the crown of the head, But being careful not to lift your traps. It's not your arms or your shoulders that will lift that up. You will develop muscles that are in the middle of your body to create that length. So another way to think about it is the head is energetically lifting towards the ceiling. The feet are energetically pushing below the floor. Let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra. Internal rotation, release the glutes in this position. Maybe elongate the back of the neck just a little bit. Letting the shoulders fall down away from the ears. Maybe pushing your shoulders out wide, as if you were going through a narrow door and you were trying to push both sides of that doorway. There's an engagement of muscles that way too. And then 50%. Breathing in and out. Now, I will cue to exhale your air. Inhale. Let's just do one Om this morning, and then we'll begin our practice. Exhale your air. Inhale for Om. Hands to thighs. Inhale, look up to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Head down. Inhale, keeping your hands on the mat. Look up, shoulders back. Exhale, step back. High plank, low plank, or knees down, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing 5 times. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. This brings your elbows energetically closer together in the middle. Make sure that you can feel the base of the thumb and the first finger on the mat. In every downward facing dog, check that arm position. One more breath. Inhale, look forward, bring your feet forward. Exhale, your head down. Inhale, stand, look up to your thumbs. Exhale, hands to side. Samastitihi. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands down, head down. Inhale, look up, shoulders back. Exhale, step back. High plank, knees, low plank, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Now go through that checklist on the arms. Shoulders, elbows, thumb, first finger. Now lift the tail a little bit more into the air. Allow the heels to release. 2 more breaths. And 5, inhale forward. Exhale the head down. Inhale, stand, look to the thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, look up. Exhale, head down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing 5 times. Doing the checklist. Last breath. Inhale, look forward, then step forward. Exhale the head down. Inhale, stand, look to the thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands down, head down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, weight in the hands during this chaturanga. Inhale, push the weight into the hands as you push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. The lifting of the tail makes space for Uddiyana Bandha. So that sort of hollow feeling is Uddiyana Bandha. Sometimes I cue it as tucking the ribs. Last breath. Inhale, look to the thumbs, step to the thumbs. Exhale the head down there. Inhale, stand, thumbs up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Last one. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down, head down. Feel the ribs by the thighs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. So once again, the checklist. See if you can make room for Uddiyana Bandha. Heels down, but still the hands in contact. Last breath. Inhale forward. Exhale the head down. Feel your ribs on your thighs. Inhale, stand. Exhale, Samastitihi. Surya Namaskar beat. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, head down. Inhale, look up. Shoulders back. Exhale, step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step forward with the right foot in a lunge. Inhale, up. Exhale, down, step back. And chaturanga. Elbows in. Inhale, up. Exhale, down, step forward with the left in the lunge. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down, step back. Elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Every time, do the checklist. And 5. Inhale forward. Exhale the head down. Inhale, bend the knees as you come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, bend the knees. Exhale the head down. Inhale up. Exhale, step back. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, step forward. Inhale, hands up, or just look up if it's getting to be too much. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot. Inhale, you can just look up and spread your arms if you're starting to get tired, or if your breath is too much. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you're breathing heavily, you can go into child's pose here. Just drop your knees down and stay in child's pose while your breath regulates. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Inhale, look forward, step forward. Exhale, head down. Inhale, come up, knees bent. Exhale, Samastitihi. I'm going to workshop this one just a little bit and show you that instead of stepping forward, you can actually jump forward. You could also jump backwards. So if you feel like, this isn't enough, and you want to do more, then follow along these instructions, or just do your regular, what you're used to. So inhale, bend the knees, look up. Exhale, hands down, ribs to thighs, head down. Inhale, look up, really feel the weight in your hands, and then you can jump back if you want, elbows in as you come down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, stepping forward with the right in the lunge. Hands up or just shoulders wide while you look up if that's a better version for you. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, step forward with the left. Hands up or wide. Exhale, hands down, stepping back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Child's pose if needs be. If you can hold your downward facing dog, that's great. One more breath. Now look up, put your weight into the hands, and then you can give a little hop if that's something you want to try. Exhale the head down. Inhale, knees bent, come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, step forward. Inhale. Exhale, step back. Inhale. Exhale, step forward. Second side. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back. Inhale. Exhale, 5 breaths. You should be pretty warm by now. This all helps our body to be safe as we go into the other poses. Last breath. Come on forward and go up on your toes if you want to do the hop. Exhale the head down. Inhale, knees bent. Exhale, Samastitihi. One on your own. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Meeting in downward facing dog, 5 breaths here. Last. Inhale, look forward, up, or just step forward. Exhale the head down. Inhale, bend the knees. And Samastitihi. Good. First standing pose, Padangusthasana. This is a forward fold. Inhale up out of the pelvis like you're going over a clothesline. Keep that lift as you come down and take your toes. First finger and middle finger are between your first toe and your second toe. The thumb could make a circle like an OK, either touching the middle finger or the first finger or between both of them. Breathing, lifting the tail into the air even more, feeling a little forward into the balls of your feet, ribs by your thighs. If your ribs are far away from your thighs, bend your knees so that they can touch. breath. Now inhale, just look up, straighten your arms, stay there. Exhale your hands underneath your feet, so stepping on the palms of your hands. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down, 5 breaths. Same cues apply. Tail high, ribs by thighs, forward towards the ball of the foot. One more breath. Inhale, look up, but don't come up. Release your hands to your waist. Exhale there. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, feet together, Samasthiti. Utthita Trikonasana. Step out to the right. Tee out your arms. Your right toe should be pointing to the opposite end of the mat and bringing your right hand down. Either maybe it's your thigh, around your ankle, your foot, or even taking the toe in that same position that we did in the last pose. Breathing. Wide arms, chest is forward, neck is extended, feet engaged into the ground. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way up, rotate the feet to do the second side. Exhale, down to the second side. Same cues apply. Extend the back of the neck, feet into the ground. Just coming forward a little bit. Last breath. Inhale, come up. Rotate the feet. We'll do Parivrtta Utthita Trikonasana, which is revolved triangle. Right hand is in the air. If that's too much, then just lay it on your back. You can look towards your right hand if it's up, or you can look down towards the ground if your neck doesn't feel good there. One more breath. Still extending. Inhale up. Rotate the feet. Exhale, the right hand goes down. The left hand is up on the second side or laid across your back. Drishti is that hand in the air, but if looking down helps you with your balance or it just feels better, that's okay. One more breath. Push into your feet as you come up. Exhale, Samasthiti, the top of the mat. Extended side angle, Parshva. Step out a little further on this one. Right angle in the front knee. Hand can either go all the way down to the mat or the forearm on the thigh. This can help open the chest towards the ceiling. So my hand right now is on my back. Now I'm going to take it and extend that side angle. So there's a line from my left foot all the way up to my left fingers. Lifting up out of the pelvis, straight spine. One more breath. Inhale, push into the feet as you come up. Reverse the feet and go back down for the second side. Again, trying to lift the chest towards the ceiling, maybe first, and then bring the hand up. Last breath. Inhale, come up. We'll do the revolved version. I'm going to take my back knee down this morning and just work on my twist. So my hands right now are on the hips and I'm just coming out of the pelvis and then turning, twisting towards my right. Lifting up, twisting more. Right leg or side is coming forward while the top is going away. So the twist happens around the waist. One more breath. Good. Inhale, look forward and come up. Reverse the feet. Exhale down into the second side. So again, working on the twist. Inhale high, exhale twist. Inhale, extend, exhale twist. Bring your left hip forward while your left shoulder is going back. Inhale tall, exhale, one more twist, and then inhale, look forward and come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Prasarita Padottanasana, step out to the right, but this time looking at the wide side of the mat. Inhale up out of the pelvis. Really lift before you go forward in a forward fold. Hands, palms down on the mat. Head hanging towards the mat. Possibly it could touch the mat eventually. Push your feet into the mat so that there is energy coming up your leg. Should have the thighs engaged. Shoulders are released, neck is released. Last breath. 5. Inhale, come partway up. Arms are straight, exhale there. Inhale, come up, hands on the hips. Exhale, the hands down. Inhale, tee out the arms. Exhale, hands on the hips, thumbs behind, fingers in front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward again, keeping the hands on the hips. Or waist is probably more accurate. Shoulder blades working towards the spine. If this feels like you need to adjust, try bending your knees a lot, like a really big squat. That can help your low back as well as your quads. Last breath. Inhale, look up, and then come up, push into your feet. Exhale, the hands down. Inhale, tee out the arms. Exhale, interlace the finger behind the back, those fingers. Your shoulders are wide. Exhale, high again, and then it should be an inhale high, exhale forward. And again, you can bend the knees a lot or keep them straight, whichever is right for you today. I like to do an inhale, bring the shoulder blades towards the spine, then exhale, you can lift a little bit more. Inhale, shoulder blades towards the spine, exhale, lift. 2 more times. Wide shoulders. And on the next inhale, push into the feet while you stand up. Exhale, the hands down. Don't tee out the arms on the sports one, on the D version. Inhale up out of the pelvis. Exhale, bring the fingers to the big toes. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the head down. If you're down low enough, your elbows are actually bent in this position. Feel your wide shoulders pushing into the feet to engage the legs. Maybe feel the scoop in the belly, the Uddiyana Bandha. Let's do an extra breath and really try to take it a little bit further. And then on the next inhale, come partway up. Arms are straight, exhale there. Inhale, hands to the hips, and then step to the front, Samastitihi. Parshvottanasana. Hands in reverse prayer, or taking the elbows with the hands, stepping out not as far, and you're facing the opposite end of the mat. So your hips are square to that opposite end of the mat, and then tilt forward with your navel going towards your right knee. Shoulder blades working towards the spine again, pushing the feet into the mat equally. Release the neck, but don't release the shoulders. In other words, shoulder blades towards the spine. And 5, inhale, come up. Rotate the feet around for your second side. Shoulder blades in, belly button towards the left knee this time. Pushing the feet into the mat. Shoulder blades towards the spine. Neck released. And 5, inhale, look up, and then come up, push into the feet. Exhale, feet together, Samasthiti. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Put the weight of your body into your left leg and then lift the right leg. Maybe it's just holding the knee. Sometimes, some days, maybe it's just coming up on your toe and really focusing on the energy in your standing leg. It is a lot of core strength to do this pose, so you can make your core work without lifting your foot. Now open up to the right. If you're like me, my toe is on the ground and I can look to the left and not lose my balance. This is a modification or a krama for somebody that hasn't practiced as long. Now inhale, look forward and bring your foot forward. There's a bow in here officially, and then you come back up and then lift your foot. Now your foot might barely be off the ground, but try not to have your toe on the ground at this point. Really lifting through the sternum and the rib cage. Try not to lose your balance. And 5, put your right foot down, pour the energy into your right foot, and then second side, your left foot. Maybe the toe is still slightly touching the ground. Maybe your knee is all the way up and you're holding your knee. Challenge your balance. And 5, open up to the side and then look to the opposite side. So on the second side, you're looking to the right. And 5, inhale, bring your foot forward. There's a little bow here in the practice, and then there's straighten the leg. And it can be low and just barely off of the ground, or it can come way up high. So whatever is right for you on any given day, you will get better and better as you practice every day. But it's not like a super highway where it's always better every single day. And 5, foot down. Now, Ardha Baddha. I'm going to go to the wall today. I'm going to back up so that I'm at the wall. Take your right foot and bring it up somewhere towards your thigh. This could be just tree pose if you feel like doing tree pose instead of this pose. But you want to do a half lotus. Today I'm holding my right toe with my left hand and holding it in place. And now I'm taking my right hand around the back and grasping onto the upper arm of the opposite arm. So this can be a good krama. Really try to push into the foot and engage in the abdomen while raising the sternum. And 5, exhale the foot down. Switch and do the second side. So bringing up that left foot on the thigh, maybe holding it with the right hand, so just the right hand on the toes to hold it in place, and then bringing the left hand around and grasping the right upper arm. Really pushing into the right foot, feeling engagement all the way from the core, the sternum, up to the top of the crown. Last breath. and 5. Exhale the foot there, and top of the mat, Samastitihi. There's a vinyasa here into Utkatasana. So inhale, look up. Exhale, the hands down, head down. Inhale, look up, shoulders back. Exhale, step or float back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this time, do try to jump if you can. Straight into this pose, come right up into it. Bend the knees. Tuck the tail a little bit. This will help with your bandhas. Ribs are aiming towards the iliac crest. Looking up towards the thumbs, hands can be together or at shoulder length or shoulder width. Now inhale, stand up. Exhale, the hands down to a vinyasa. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to step forward with the right foot in the lunge. Virabhadrasana A. You're looking towards the short edge of your mat and the hands are up. Pushing into both feet, but keeping a 90-degree angle in the front knee if you can. The Drishti is the thumbs. If this is too much for your arms, your shoulders, bring them down in front of you. But keep your eyes on your thumbs as you now rotate to side 2. So once again, 90-degree angle in the front knee, lifting up out of the pelvis, pushing the feet into the ground, Drishti on the thumbs, and 5. We're opening up to Virabhadrasana B or Warrior B. So your chest is parallel to the long side of your mat on this. Still 90-degree angle in your knee, looking over the left middle finger. Arms are energetically pulling away from each other. And 5, inhale, straighten your left knee, change your feet, and lunge into your right knee for the second side. Check that you're pushing in your feet, engagement of the legs, lifting again. Try to release the traps and let the energy go out both fingers. 5. Now exhale, bring both hands forward towards that lunge foot. Step back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we've completed the standing series. So now you can come forward and sit down for the seated series. The standing series is called Yoga Chikitsa. It means yoga therapy. This is a very healing practice for people. Now we begin the primary series, which is the sequence of seated poses. Yoga Chikitsa is part of every Ashtanga yoga series, so we always start with that much. Now inhale, really lift up out of the pelvis. We're trying to have length, but then that scooping out feeling. So we don't want the stomach to pooch out. You can have the hands down, the sternum is heading towards your chin. You can look down on this. Keep the legs in heels and a little bit of energy in the big toe mount. We're going to call that 5. Now, the next pose, Paschimottanasana, we really want to lift up out of the pelvis. So I'm going to take my hands and lift from my ribs up and then forward fold. There's a tendency to forget the legs here, so keep engaging the legs. Inhale, lift, exhale, a little bit more forward if you can. Now don't go past your edge, don't hurt yourself. Each inhale could be a lift and each exhale a little further. And as you warm up, inhale and exhale. You will be able to lengthen your hamstrings more and more. So that's 5. Inhale, look up, and then you would do a second hand position. So if your first hand position was taking your toes, your second hand position would be on the outside of your foot. But maybe you're not there yet. Maybe if you do that, then it makes your back roundy. So just keep your hands up on your ribs and continue to do that same action just for another 5 breaths is all. Okay, so that's 5. Inhale, look up. There's actually 3 sets here. So maybe you want to adjust something. I'm going to bring my femurs back into my hip bones, and I'm going to put my hands down on my hip bones and lift up out of my hips and see if that helps. Maybe tucking a little roll up underneath, if you have a roll like me, and you can get your ribs closer to your thighs. So continuing to breathe, continuing to engage the legs. You can also have your hands out to the side, pulling your shoulders back. One more breath here. And 5, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Let's do a vinyasa today. There's a standard vinyasa right here. Sometimes I skip it. Elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And you can either jump or sit in whatever way, get back to that seated position. So, Purvottanasana, the hands go behind, 10 or 12 inches behind, and just really open up the chest. At the beginning, this may be your pose. This may be all you do is really open the chest, engage the legs. If you want to take the next step, feet can go down and you can lift up into tabletop. And the third possibility is the hardest, where the heels are on the ground, still opening up and lifting the hips up this way. So any day, you should choose one of those. That's been 5, I'm sure. I'm just demonstrating. So come forward into a vinyasa. And take the seat. So now let's think through, where have we come so far on seated positions? The first one, Dandasana, straight up and down, staff pose. The second one, Paschimottanasana, lifting up and a forward fold. 3 of those. Then a vinyasa. The last one that we did, Parshvottanasana, or I think I said that wrong, but that's okay. It's the reverse plank, so the wide shoulders. So that's 3 you need to have memorized. We'll do 1 more today and then ask you to keep working on memorizing these 4. This is Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. Bring your right leg out and your heel towards your navel and then in. If this is too much, and for many people that are starting this is too much, then just bring your leg down on the ground. It's a different pose, but this is what you should do just until you can comfortably put your foot up on your thigh. Do not put it on your knee. It's too much pressure on your knee if you put it on your knee. So here we go. You can just let that hang there. Bring your right hand behind you, lift up, and then a forward fold, or it might be just a lifting up action. Let's count our breaths. Shoulders are still working towards the shoulder blade, even here. I mean towards the spine, blades towards the spine. 1 more breath. And 5, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Crisscross applesauce, come forward into a vinyasa. Sometimes we skip that vinyasa, but it's good to know that it's there, and it's good to practice it on days that maybe we have a little bit more energy. Okay, second side. Left knee is bent. Bring the heel towards the navel, then across the thigh, sitting tall. You can bring the left hand around. Eventually it takes the toe. Today, Maybe I'm just holding that foot. This might feel really familiar because you've done it in a standing position. But this gives us a little bit of a forward fold, which eventually is a full forward fold. Lifting up out of the pelvis still, shoulder blades towards the spine. And 5, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the pose. Cross the legs, go into a vinyasa. So that may be, go ahead and sit down, and you're ready to do your closing, which starts with the back bend prep, with the blocks between your feet, between your knees, if you have your blocks, and lifting. Do 3 of those, and then go to your closing, do your full closing by yourself. I'm going to say goodbye for today while you finish up your practice, and do this every day. It will change your life. Talk to you later.